Thanks, Chrissy. So, yeah, I agree with Karen. Thanks very much for hanging on to the bitter end today. And I've got a really interesting story to talk to you about, so I'm glad you did. We are going to talk mostly today about our projects in the Pilbara. We've got a large land holding there, and you can see here the landscape in the banner is pretty much what we used to do on a day-to-day basis. We do have some projects in Victoria which get a mention today, but there's a conference next week in Melbourne where a lot more detail, Chris will go into a lot more detail on the Victorian projects if you're interested. One of the things I would like to say is that, 10 minutes you can't actually get much across. I've simplified a lot of the aspects of the geology and the projects down for you, but please visit our website, and if you want to spend more time on the cautionary statement, it's there for your enjoyment as well. First of all, I'd like to tell you that Novo actually operate across 9 different traditional owner groups in the Pilbara, and one also in Victoria, the Dja Dja Wurrung. We have really good relationships with most of these groups, and we'd like to pay our respects to all members of the Indigenous communities we work with, and to elders past, present and emerging. Okay, I kind of did the summary first, just in case I got shooed off the podium from Chrissy. We had a pretty turbulent year last year. We did some deals. They all culminated pretty much in the week before Christmas, so that was pretty interesting. But we're really starting the year now with a great story from my perspective, and hopefully you'll understand. We have a clear target. We are looking for gold. We want to deliver plus million ounce development potential resources. That's our focus. We have a strong group that are actually working, and we've all really been with Novo for 5 years, so everyone is very clued up on the geology in the Pilbara projects. We've still got 7,500 square k's of Pilbara exploration tenure that we're working on, and we've managed to do various deals to farm out things like our lithium projects to major groups like SQM and Leotam, which has injected nearly $12 million into our pockets in the last year, and also a great joint venture deal on the Egina joint venture with De Grey Mining on 1,000 square kilometres of ground just south of Hemi and the Hemi resource. I hope you all saw Phil's presentation yesterday, because he talked to the Egina camp quite a bit, and you'll see that when you look at the maps. We've got very similar geology and high prospectivity all throughout our Egina joint venture. Lastly, we are, it sounds like Groundhog Day, but we are really well funded. We've got 21 million in cash in the bank as of the end of January, and we've got $30 million in investments that we can call on as the year goes by. This is just really a notice to show you the land holding. You can see up here in the pinks and purples that they're our lithium joint ventures. They're all managed by our joint venture partners. What I'm going to focus on is the Egina Gold Camp, this area through here. In the north is the Egina joint venture, and in the south is a joint venture with Mark Creasy and the Creasy Group, and also Nunyerry North is our first prospect that we've really focused on in that southern belt. Just quickly, this is really just the take-home message is no debt. We've got great investment portfolio there. Our shareholding has improved demonstrably in the last year. And I guess, as I say, cash in the bank of 21 million to spend on exploration. Honing straight into the Egina Gold Camp, we did a great deal with De Grey. They are going to invest up to $25 million on exploration at Besha and the surrounding tenure. These sort of, oh, backwards. Can I go backwards? Yes. These areas through here will be consolidated during the year, I'm sure, giving them that northern portion of the ground adjacent to all of their Hemi project area. They now have a significant area in the Malina Basin, which is the host for all the Hemi and similar deposits, structural deposits as well, like Withnell. And, you know, the corridor is really significant. It runs east-west for sure, but it also runs down here through the edge of the gold camp, and you can see we've got various prospects that we're going to be working on during the year. There's over 10,500 metres of various drilling, mostly aircore, some RC, Scout RC, that degraded across the last quarter of 2023. And they've got a larger program that they're going to continue with this year. Just briefly, the results that we have so far from the RC drilling, we've hit a really interesting new style of mineralisation here on the Heckmeyer intrusion. Just explaining this map a little bit, anything that has a cross on it is intrusive, whether it be diorite, sanucatoid or ultramafic. We come across a main anomaly in here from the air core that only 2 scout holes have been put into, and we've got a really significant, kind of unexplained at the moment, but base metals, silver up to 60 grams, sniff of gold in there as well, but really significant numbers that both ourselves and De Grey are keen to track across this kilometre trend. And, you know, both holes sit underneath each other, and those results look pretty significant to me. In addition, there's numbers from the first drilling at Low, which are shown here. So, again, just 4 holes, quite shallow, and the best results are 8 metres at nearly 5 grams. So, again, quite successful for just two deeper RC Scout holes. Moving to the south, which is basically the ground that we manage, you'll see that Nunyerry North, right in the south here, is our main prospect. This is a greenstone belt. This is 60 kilometres of fertile structural trend right across the belt, with Hemi in the north and Nunyerry in the south. And this is one of the main areas where our focus will be during the year. We've done a lot of work now to understand the geometries and the geology at Nunyerry North, and I just want the takeaway home message here is our proof of concept, if you like. Drilling was done just in this very small portion, and we've got a lot more work on various targets, whether they be structural, intrusive, or actually chasing the type stratigraphy that we know is the target horizon. We did put an announcement out about this yesterday. Just a mention of Victoria, and unfortunately I'm not going to talk to you much about it now because I'm running out of time already. So, two slides to go. This is how we're going to work this year. Obviously, De Grey will be looking after 1 or 2 rigs at any point in time this year, once the season becomes a bit more amenable. So we'll have a drill rig heading out, doing more Scout RC and follow-up. We are going to follow up the maiden RC drilling that we did down at Nunyerry North, where we've got pretty interesting, significant results, given that there's no drilling ever been done in a radius of about 50 kilometres of Nunyerry North. So we're working on that already, and we'll probably do some diamond drilling as well to try and really suss out the structural complexity there. We've also got a project at Balla Balla, which has stalled a little bit because we're just waiting on permit approvals, but we're expecting that as well before the middle of the year. And then Belltopper, we're diamond drilling at the moment, and you'll hear more about that going through. Now, this is it, the last slide. We think we're heading towards success. We think we've got all the ingredients that we need to define a standalone gold project. We've got plenty of targets on our own tenure. We've got a great team, a great portfolio, good joint ventures, and what else? Oh, and we're going to be doing project generation as well. So that's it. Happy days?
Oh.
Thank you. 10 minutes goes so quickly.